Hello, welcome everyone. Tonight's October the 8th, it's 7 o'clock. Before we begin our general business, we have a couple items to discuss via a public hearing. You want to take over, Chris?
Sure. The first one will be to accept public comment on the amendment of our zoning ordinance, and it'll be an ordinance of the Township of South Fayette, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 240 of the zoning and it'll amend all the relevant articles, but basically what this amendment will do will permit small wind, small solar, and hydronic heat systems in all districts, and what the large wind, large solar, permitted as a conditional accessory use in C2 and a conditional principal use in I1. So at this time, we would be open to taking public comment on that. Hearing nothing, we'll move along. We now have two matters for conditional use consideration. I would ask Jason from GTE to please, if he would like to take the lead on those, since he's more knowledgeable in that.
Sure, Chris. The first one, Thank you. I appreciate it. The GSL contractor storage building conditional use application. So by zoning, that the use is a conditional use in the PED. We did review the plans. We also provided a review letter. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the conditional use at the last Planning Commission meeting. I know the applicant and their consultant are here to provide any comments or answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, so with that being said, do we have any public comment with regard to this conditional use matter? Okay, so let the record reflect there's no public comment. And the second conditional use matter.
Sure, Chris, I'll jump into that one. So the Little TT's Toy Box Academy is a conditional use application. The property is located at 803 Burska Drive. The use proposed is a daycare facility. By zoning, the daycare use is a conditional use in the B1 zoning district. This proposed business is moving into an existing space in Burska. The only outside improvements would be a play area to accommodate the business, which is a requirement of our ordinances as well as state requirements. They are in the process of attaining their state license, which again is a requirement of township ordinance. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the application at last month's planning meeting.
Thank you, Jason. Is there any public comment on this matter? Okay, with no one offering any public comment, the record can close. Thank you.
All right, record. All right, thank you. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Could everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ariana, would you please do roll call?
Absolutely. Commissioner Hondru? Here. Commissioner Oravecz? Here. Commissioner Postufka?
Here.
Commissioner Lazzini?
Here.
Commissioner Sray?
At this point, we'll open up the meeting for public comment. Public comment at this time is for any agenda items only. Does anyone have any public comment? All right, we'll move to item 6, correspondence. South Fayette Library report. Okay, thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Oak Ridge Volunteer Fire Department reports online if anyone wants to see it. Southbridge EMS, Dan? All right, thank you. Dan, stick around, I got something for you later. Item 7, consent calendar items. 7A, approval of the minutes. Anyone like to make a motion to approve last month's minutes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. Is there anything on there we need to take a quick look at?
The largest bill of note will be on the agenda later this evening, payment to Field Turf for
Yeah,
the ball
800.
fields. Other than that, we have our insurance payments, and then this month also were contributions to the volunteer fire departments.
Okay,
Anyone like to make a motion for payment of bills?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. 7C, financial reports.
Looking at the revenue and expenditure report for the month, you'll see that revenues are up. Real estate tax is up to 9.7. We brought in 300,000 more since last time we met. We are trending in the right direction with revenues of 17 million and expenses of just over 12. Because of the way our taxes come into us, we need to carry over at least 3.5 million to get to the second quarter of the year. But yeah, it appears as if we're going to come in under budget and on target.
Okay. Anyone like to make a motion to approve the financial reports?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Bank account balances.
They're here mostly for transparency's sake. You can see the general fund is around 7.4 million bucks. Capital reserve 3.7. That does reflect some transfers, both from the general fund to meet our fund balance policy, and also from bond proceeds to pay for some of our capital expenses.
Anyone like to make, is there any questions on the bank account balances?
No, sir.
Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8, liaison reports. Public safety. I know I was out of town, but I know the Fire Advisory Council met, was it last Thursday, reviewed potential job description for a fire service coordinator. And that's about all I had. Public infrastructure and service.
Nothing to report at this time.
Finance administration, Leigh?
Also, nothing to report this time.
All right. Intergovernmental relations, Tim?
Good, Chuck, nothing to report.
Community and economic development.
Same here. I missed the meeting last night, but we got some great stuff from Paula coming up, so I'm not gonna steal her thunder.
All right. Item 9, old or unfinished business. Anything? Moving along, 10A, discuss and consider CU-01-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building Conditional Use Application, 800 Millers Run Road, zoned PED. So that's just what you went over.
We did check. We reviewed the application and issued a review letter dated September the 19th. There are actually 3 items that are associated with this, but we should take them individually. The conditional use, I did want to note that the applicant and their consultant had gone previously to the zoning hearing board to attain variances for 4 different items. These variances pertain to the conditional use, the consolidation, and the land development. So I'm going to read them for this first application just so the board's aware of them. The first one was maximum impervious surface coverage shall not exceed 45%. They got a relief for an additional 5% to go up to 50%, and that was based mostly on the existing conditions of the site. The second variance that was attained was minimum perimeter setback shall be 100 feet. They got a relief allowing that to 25 feet on one side of the property. The third one was the minimum perimeter setback shall be 100 feet. They got a variance of 50 feet to allow a setback of 50 feet to match the PED setbacks for the property. And the last variance that was granted was the minimum site area shall be a minimum of 15 acres. That's a PED requirement. The total of the properties involved with this is 5.1 acres, and they were granted that variance. Beyond that, they met all the conditions of the conditional use, and the Planning Commission recommended approval.
Hey, Jason, I have a question.
Yes.
So with these setbacks, what is around? What are there any other, what is around this?
No, it's all PED. There's
So
not,
there's
no
no- okay, I
residential,
just-
no.
Just open area.
Okay, then that's fine.
This is off 50, the old lumberyard, right?
It is.
Any other questions?
So, yeah, I have a question. So this, we have 10A, we have 10E, we have 10G, it's all this Is that what you were just talking about, Jason?
Yes,
So
they
that's
are all related to this, yes.
These are all
Chris,
related. Do we have the ability to combine these?
I like taking them separately because of the conditional use matter.
That's fine, I just wanted to make sure that they were.
It's all the same
Yeah,
thing.
they were just
But it's
addressed.
all, yeah, it all comes out.
100%,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And the variances pertain to all of them, yes.
When Chuck, when you get to that, we'll just go right through it.
So we have 10, all the ones that are GSL are A, E,
G,
G.
and is there another one?
No, that's it.
A, okay,
There's three, yes.
Three.
okay,
All
A,
right.
E, and G.
A and G, all right.
Any other discussions on this conditional use application?
Nope.
Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the conditional use application CU 01-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building at 800 Millers Run Road?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10B, discuss and consider CU-02-2025 Little TT's Toy Box Academy, conditional use application at 803 Burska Drive, zoned B1.
As I introduced earlier, the Little TT's Toy Box Academy, the conditional use is simply for daycare use within an existing facility at 803 Burska. We had reviewed the application, provided a comment letter dated September the 16th. The applicant addressed our items. The Planning Commission recommended approval at the last meeting.
Does anyone have any questions or discussion regarding CU-02-2025?
Nope.
Would anyone like to make a motion to approve this conditional use?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10C, discuss and consider adopting ordinance 2025-02, amendments to Chapter 240 related to renewable energy systems. So this is what we just reviewed in the public hearing. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or discussion on the board?
I do not.
Only thing to add, Chuck, if you don't mind, we did get a review letter from Allegheny County. We did make minor tweaks to the ordinance just in reference to a few of their comments, which were largely regards to length of setback. And in both cases, we made them stronger, not more relaxed.
Okay. So would anyone like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-02, amending Chapter 240 related to renewable energy systems?
I'll make that motion.
Second? Anyone?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 10D is discuss and consider adopting ordinance 2025-3, amending Chapter 183 of the South Fayette Township Code relating to the use of e-scooters in township parks. Joe, do you have any comments?
No, it was on the agenda to be advertised a couple
Yep.
months ago, and we just forgot to actually
Yeah.
pass it.
And I read the ordinance. It doesn't prohibit them. It prohibits
It puts
specific
restrictions
uses.
in where it's allowed, yeah.
Gotcha. Does anyone on the board have any questions or comments?
You good with it, chief?
Yes, I'm good with it. I reviewed it.
I'm good then.
Would anyone like to make a motion? Where is it?
I'll make that motion.
D.
I gotcha. Make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-3, a little circle there, amending Chapter 183 of the South Fayette Township Code relating to the use of e-scooters in township parks. Leigh,
Yep, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10E, discuss and consider SP 04-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building, preliminary and final land development application, 800 Millers Run Road, zoned PED.
Yes, so this is obviously the land development application relating to the GSL project. We reviewed the plans and application. We issued a letter dated September the 19th. Allegheny County also reviewed the application and provided a comment letter as well. The applicant and their consultant have responded to our letter as well as the county comments. They've made those revisions. Planning Commission recommended approval. And also, I did want to note with regards to the land development, they are subject to traffic impact fees. So the consultant did provide their calculations and the ITE study that related to the PM peak hour trips that calculate that fee. We agree with their numbers on that. That'll be part of the developer's agreement. There's also a fee in lieu of that was approved by the Planning Commission for there's just a small amount of sidewalk that has frontage for that requirement. We've reviewed those numbers and we're in support of that. So that'll be part of the developer's agreement as well.
Anyone have any questions or comments for discussion on this matter? All right, would anyone like to make a motion to approve SP 04-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building Preliminary and Final Land Development Application at 800 Millers Run Road?
I'll make that motion, Chuck.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10F, discuss and consider SP-05-2025 South Fayette Township School District Primary School Preliminary and Final Land Development Application, parcels 327E1 and 404C1, which is zoned CD1 Conservation.
So this is the land development application for the new primary school. As you may recall from recent meetings, this will replace the bus garage, which is going to go across the
Across
road after the demolition of that. It's going to go in that place. We reviewed the application, provided a letter dated September the 16th. The applicant's consultant, CEC, has responded to that and corrected all the items we had within the letter. There was also a Allegheny County Department of Economic Development letter that was part of this as well. They've addressed those items, much of which were the same as our review. There are a couple modification requests. There are three, actually, that I wanted to bring to your attention, and they are the same as what were part of the bus garage. They're requesting waiver from the requirement for a traffic impact fee, which is, we are in support of that, considering the fact that they aren't really adding new trips. They're just kind of moving things around between buildings here. That was approved by the board previously. The second modification request is for a traffic study, and for the same reason, being that they're not really adding a substantial amount of volume that's new to this site. We felt that we would be in support of that.
Agreed.
The last item was wetland buffer. With this project, they are not looking to impact wetlands, but the township does have a pretty restrictive buffer that is actually much more restrictive than the state requirements. They are asking for relief to put some minor grading and erosion and sediment controls within that buffer, and that was granted for the last application as well. Other than that, all the items have been satisfied.
I just had a question on the sidewalks. I think they're doing the sidewalks. It's going to be across the street on the school side.
That's a whole different
That's
project.
totally different.
This is
Okay.
this is elementary school.
This is just a
going-
school. This is not the bus garage.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And the bus garage sidewalks are being handled with that developer's agreement, so they
That's
will be
separate.
addressed, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, this one does not have a sidewalk requirement because of lack of frontage.
Sure. It's over in that, gotcha, in the corner.
All right, any other questions, comments? All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve SP 05-2025 South Fayette Township School District Primary School Preliminary and Final Land Development Application, parcels 327E1 and 404C1, which is zoned C1 Conservation.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 10G, discuss and consider S6-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building Preliminary and Final Minor Subdivision Application, 800 Millers Run Road, Zone PED.
So this is the final GSL item. The property consists of 6 individual parcels, which total 5.1 acres. So this application is simply to consolidate those into one parcel. We've reviewed the plans, provided a review letter dated September the 19th. The county also provided their comment letter dated September the 16th. All the items within our letter and the county letter have been addressed, and we're in support of approval of this application.
Any questions or comments from the board? Someone like to make a motion to approve S06-2025 GSL Contractor Storage Building, the preliminary and final minor subdivision application at 800 Millers Run Road.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10H, discuss and consider resolution 2025-19 sewage planning module for the South Fayette Township School District new maintenance and bus depot facility.
Yes, so even though the township doesn't own or maintain the sanitary sewer lines within the township, they are required by law to be a sponsor of the planning module. So this is customary for a land development.
Very good. Any questions? Nope. Motion to approve resolution 2025-19 sewage planning module for the South Fayette Township School District new maintenance and bus depot.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. 10I, discuss and consider resolution 2025-20, appointing delegates to the Allegheny County Southwest Tax Collection District.
Yeah, this is a little bit of housekeeping. I think we had talked about this as a group and agreed that Leanne would be our delegate and that I would serve as an alternate. We did hear from the committee just saying they need this via resolution. So we have a form that we submitted to them, but we have to put it in the form of resolution. So we need to produce the minutes to the meeting to go with it. So that's why it's on our agenda this evening. Just a little bit of housekeeping.
Understood. Thank you. Someone like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-20, appointing a delegate to the Allegheny County Southwest Tax Collection District.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
10J, discuss and consider first and final pay app to Minifield Demolition Services LLC for the demolition of 745 Dutch Hill Road in the amount of $14,000, leaving a zero balance. So it's kind of a no-brainer. This is already torn down. This is just
already gone.
yeah, finish the payment. Nothing to.
No.
All right. Anyone make a motion?
I'll make it.
I'll second. You second?
All in favor?
I'll second it.
I will second it.
Only thing to add with that is Chris did produce a demo lien that was filed on the property.
Okay. I saw that in the documents. Item 10K, discuss and consider a motion to authorize payment to Field Turf USA in the amount of $821,211.34 for the Fairview Park ball fields.
Right, this is a large payment. I think after this one, we're getting close to final. They're in their final stages. I know that the invoice that was submitted, Jason and his team reviewed it to line up with work actually performed. Last time we were in front of the board with Field Turf, it was to approve a change order that brought the not to exceed amount to 2.7 million roughly. These numbers are consistent with that. When we make our final payment and do the reconciliation, we should be at or below that do not exceed amount.
All right. Anyone like to make a motion to authorize payment to Field Turf USA in the amount of $821,211.34 for Fairview Park ball fields?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Good
Motion
stuff.
carries. 10L, discuss and consider a motion to approve the deputization of Jordan Tax Services as deputy tax collector to the tax collector for the collection of real estate taxes for the term ending December 31st, 2025.
I will make that motion.
Anyone second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I guess I'll lie it. I'm lying.
Aye.
10M, discuss and consider a motion to approve deputizing Jordan Tax Service as the deputy tax collector to the tax collector for the collection of real estate taxes for the term commencing January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2029.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Department reports, managers report. Mr. Barrett.
Yeah, thank you. A few things to announce to the board, and you've heard this by now, but we did receive good news on our Keystone grant extension request. So the $750,000 grant previously secured for constructing a library was authorized at the 515 location that you asked about, Mark. And we have a year extension on that as well. So good news there. Chuck, you mentioned the Fire Service Advisory Committee. We did present that group with a revised job description that we're waiting for some feedback on. And we'll talk about next steps once we hear from them. The South Fayette Athletic Association is a group that you guys are familiar with. We had a meeting with their representatives. They're working through a bylaw process. Paula's been helping them with that. Just a heads up that it's going to be coming back at you guys. We shared a draft with you. It still needs to kind of get some additional feedback revision from that group before we talk about it with the Parks and Rec Board, and then bring it back to this body for adoption. We received our insurance renewals for the year, both from a health insurance standpoint as well as property casualty, workers' comp, that kind of stuff. On the health insurance side, we offer two plans, Highmark and a UPMC through the MBS. Highmark plans had a 6% increase with UPMC at 1%. So relative to market, that's pretty good.
That's great.
We did see a bump in our property and casualty stuff. That includes auto. That went up by about 17%. But we did add some additional vehicles to that. We did our inventory of fire vehicles revealed we had missed a few, so now we're caught up. So it's not truly apples to apples with the 17%, but the cost is
It's mostly
a
exposure
17%
driven.
increase. Yeah.
It's exposure.
And workers' comp lastly was a 6% bump. Wanted to get on your radar a workshop for our 26 budget. Thinking we'd start with kind of a Q3 wrap-up, projections for year-end, and review of capital projects. Since we're early in the month of October with this meeting, today being the 8th, we have a few weeks left before the end of the month. Thinking we'd look at, I guess that would be the week of the 20th. For some availability, we'll get an email out to this group unless you want to look at your
Yeah, we can do it at
calendars
the end of the
now.
meeting or.
Yeah,
Want to wait?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it, unless you guys have questions about anything.
I do not.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Assistant managers, Pat?
Thank you, Commissioners. I submitted my report now to open to any questions rather than me go over everything.
Yeah, I did have a question. You had, I know that we've been going through this with, speaking of the fire service with first due. I think it was a typo there on the 5th bullet, but what did you need from Allegheny County, their 911 center?
BJ actually requested information so they could, from the CAD, so that they could provide it for the software. I can't remember all the specifics in the email,
Okay.
but I can get that for you.
Okay, that's fine. That was the only question that I had looking at your report.
Okay. Any other questions?
Real quick, when are they, because I know they're working on the implementation, but what's the target to be done?
Supposed to be sometime this month.
Yeah, that's what that was said.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
Commissioner.
Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Building permits?
Yeah, this month we brought in about $19,000 in permits. Majority of those are on the residential side of things. Charter homes, new townhouse permits make up the bulk of that. We do have the apartments. Apex Newberry issued a permit for their pool installation, which is not yet complete. But that being said, it's been a relatively slow month by comparison, but 19,000 for the month.
Okay, thank you. Andrea, communications and community development?
Thank you, Andrea Igler, Director of Communications and Community Development. I wanted to let you know we've made some great progress with partnering with the school district. I know that partnering more has been a priority for the board, so we're working on some communications partnerships. We're going to be looking to get some student video productions from the school that we can share on our cable television, for example. I've discussed with them ways they could put some of their community-oriented events more on our website and cable TV. And the school also would like to participate more in South Fayette Connect magazine next year. They're going to purchase some pages in our magazine next year that will cover the costs of those pages, and we'll get more school content out through our publication as well.
Well done.
Thank you. And anything else, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Looks great.
I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always do a great
and
job.
the Q3 report that's on there, I almost forgot just to point that out. There's tons of data on there. A couple of the most interesting points. After about 10 years of having our website, we have more than 2 million visits now total.
Wow.
2 million.
From the 10 years.
Over 10 years,
That's just
we've
not
only
this
hit
year.
2 million. And on social media, last quarter, the most popular types of posts had to do with road projects, the Wembley Club, and trail connections such as the Mayview Trail Connection and Panhandle paving, as well as Dale Kirkpatrick's retirement from Public Works was another big one. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Andrea.
That's awesome.
Jason, engineer report.
Good evening again, Commissioners. I'll go through some of the highlights of the report. I did want to make note that the 2 demolitions that the board recently approved and approved those contracts for Koski and Minifield. The 51 South Fayette Street notice proceed was issued on Monday for that one to Koski, and 18 Morgan Street notice proceed was issued also on Monday to Minifield. So those are 30-day contracts. Those will be done by the end of the month. The Panhandle Trail, absolutely. Panhandle Trail paving was completed recently. They do have some restoration items on that, but that paving went in pretty quick and on time. A number of planning projects in different phases here as far as inspection goes. Apex Newberry Apartments, they're going to be coming in for occupancy on 2 of those buildings here shortly. And that the remainder of that site should be wrapped up here by the end of the year. And they'll be seeking occupancy on some additional units in the coming months. So that one's going to wrap up here pretty soon. Mayview Road Townhomes is approved, developers agreements in place, so they're going to break ground on that pretty soon. And same thing with Wembley Club. So that's really, it's on the contractor as to when he can start. Everything's been satisfied on the township's end, so we would expect that to start pretty soon. If anyone has any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason, thank you.
Facilities?
Good evening, Commissioners. Facilities report, page number 4, electrical. We are still having an issue with outdoor electrical parking lot. There's a few conduits been compromised that been diagnosed this week, so we are working with electrical company to provide the remedy. HVAC system updates. HFTech performed maintenance as per agreement outlined in the service contract. There are still continuing issues with internal pumps. So it's still in the works. Matter of fact, they're coming in tomorrow and the day after to fix ongoing issue. Capital projects, as Jason mentioned, Panhandle Trail. There's a couple of photographs. Scope of work, installation of 2-inch bituminous material. Project length approximately 1.8 miles. Continuous width 10 feet all the way through. A couple of photographs you can see. 2026 paving program proposed. We're going to review in details sometime this week or next week before we make the final determination. And a Bridge Street, Bridge Street. Township met with a construction company that are providing temporary solution.
Yeah, I saw that. But can you go back one? I just have one question, just for my own knowledge.
Right.
Surface rating, I see there between 3 and 4. Is the lower score better or the higher score?
The highest is worse.
Okay, so if a lower number means it's in better
Yes,
shape.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Cemetery Hill.
Was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, as of right now, the majority of the road throughout the township.
Okay, that was just from my own knowledge. And then, I'm sorry, you were going to go on to bridges, and I saw there was a temporary bridge coming for Bridge Street, right?
Yes, there is an option. We just received the cost to install that temporary bridge. Matter of fact, the quote dated October 7th, after I already submit my report. To install the temporary bridge, total cost will be $63,000. or we have an option to purchase it for $65,000. We might weigh an option to purchase it because we have because we might end up using it at the multiple locations throughout the township for future projects.
Funny how they sell stuff, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, also there's an option you can lease to own. We can make the monthly payments towards to rent, but at the end we'll own the bridge.
Is it a pretty standard span?
It's a 45 feet span will required for this location, but it's also 14 feet wide. So we have in a passing lane with 12.5 feet.
They put it right over top of the
Right over
existing
top
bridge.
of that.
Oh, really?
And also, what's the beauty of that? You don't have to apply for a DEP permit because you're not messing with a.
When you're done, where do you store a 45, where do you put a 45-foot bridge?
Is it collapsible or
No.
it have to be 45?
For what we have on the Bridge Street, we came out, we measured it
Just on a big flat.
overlay.
Right.
So we buy it, and then we start renting it out.
Yeah, right, there you go. That one does it.
Right?
But to that point, where do you actually store it when we're
I
done?
don't know.
Also,
That's why I asked.
It would be our first bridge.
It comes with a troll.
We're starting to bridge.
I mean, 45 feet. It's not as big.
So I guess I know. It's
15
like,
yards.
I
Yeah,
know. But like, can you, I don't know, use it on a different bridge instead of 45
Yes, yeah,
feet?
yes.
But I mean, like, shorten it to like, I don't know, if it's 25 feet or something. I'm just.
No.
Or it's like a set 45
That's
feet.
that's a set length. At the set length.
And this span is longer than some of your other bridges, like Alpine and Pinch Road for sure is going
So
to
if you
probably
put
be
it on
next.
pinch, you would just
can
drive
use-
on the bridge, on the road for 10 feet until you get onto the.
Correct.
temporary.
And Bridge Street's replacement is going to require a temporary structure during that. So, that one's in pretty bad shape. It's on the TIP program, obviously.
Yeah.
But the TIP program takes a little bit of time. And the recent inspections necessitate the fact that we have a Plan B with the temporary bridge. So whether or not we need it today, we kind of have to have it on site in the near future. So it does make sense to make plans for that. We have a little bit of time to make that decision, but not a whole lot.
Budgeting for 2026, just with the rapid deterioration of existing bridge on the Bridge Street.
Understood.
In the limited weight, it's only 3 tons now. With that temporary bridge, it's a H20 load.
Yeah.
So
Can we just check to see if it could also be used on the other projects?
Yeah,
Because I don't want to rent one 3 times.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a big
And I don't want
possibility.
to
Can
rent
be
one
used.
for 63 if I could buy it for 65.
We'll buy it for 65, we'll use it 3 times and we'll sell it. I mean, you can sell it when you're done with it, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not rent it for
No.
63.
All right. Anything else?
That's all. That should conclude my
Oh, great.
monthly report.
Thank you. Good information.
Thank you.
Parks.
Good evening. I forgot to include, I have new drone pictures of the ball field. So Andrea's going to bring them up right now. So the artificial turf infields are in. They're finishing it up either today or tomorrow. And then you'll be seeing the grading of the outfields, then fencing, and then kind of restoration with finishing project probably by the end of October. So that is very exciting. I think, yeah. Yeah, so you can,
You have to prove you're a human.
yeah, but you can kind of see that where you also see kind of the stone, that's like walkways, so you can really start seeing like the whole site come to shape and what it's going to look like. So pretty cool to compare it next to that rendering because it's exactly like that. So very exciting. So on track for that project. We met today with also Field Turf, Gibson Thomas, and Township staff on the multi-purpose fields. Field Turf's design has been handed off to Gibson Thomas to review the stormwater, which will then go to the Allegheny County Conservation District to update our NPDES permit. So we probably, Jason, chime in, when do you think we'll have that permit back?
From submittal, which would probably be in under 30 days, they're going to probably need about 6 weeks on it. So
By the end of the year,
yeah,
we
we should have
a
that
permit in
modified
place.
permit Around the holidays, hopefully.
And Field Turf said that once we have a permit, they are ready to go. So it will be just in our court to sign the purchase agreement, and they're more than happy to work through the winter, so they could start at the beginning, very first of the year.
Oh, so there's a chance it could be done in the spring?
Correct.
Like both those fields could be ready in the
Yes.
spring?
Well, the only thing to the, I didn't really put this together until this week when we talked about the baseball fields. Like the outfields are still going to be grass.
That's
So
grass.
they take 2 seasons to establish those. So it's looking, they would on this schedule be ready next fall for play.
So
I mean,
those are
they're
the
gonna-
baseball fields. The
Baseball fields,
multi-purpose
right.
fields could be ready.
Multi-purpose don't have that same.
That'd be ready in the
same
spring.
requirement,
Yeah.
so.
That would help a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of take some of the pressure off.
Those were grant funded too, right? We got to,
We got 1.1, 1.2 million in
Okay.
grants, correct. So those, we have like kind of high level numbers, but once stormwater's designed, we can get real defined numbers, which will be then placed in the capital budget. But yeah, it's looking that we could gear up for the first of the year.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. Everyone touched on the Panhandle Trail. What I want to touch on is I went down there and I got to see the users right after it got paved, and I got to meet this really nice woman who's a double amputee, and she hated riding on the trail, and she thanked me so much of how much of a smoother ride it is for her. Wow. So it was a really rewarding experience to see that, how just a small project really made an impact on accessibility and just all users. So that was
I went down on Sunday and blocked it myself.
Did you?
Yeah,
How was it?
Very much improved.
Yeah. And I had one of the officers drive me down. I took pictures. We want to kind of clean it up too with some of the signage along. There's a lot of junky signs along the way. Our mile markers are very old and not in the right spot. So I took those pictures working with like a design firm to update kind of the pillar mile markers and kind of get some of that cleaned up here through the end of the year and the beginning of next year. So. The other exciting news is we launched the SF Rec Report. So if you haven't subscribed, it's going to be our new monthly Parks and Rec newsletter. We took subscribers from anyone who participated in programs, so through my rec software, and people who sign up for news alerts. So we have over 3,000 people subscribed already. And when the first one went out, we're at a 70% open rate, and you can actually see the links that people click on, and they're very interested in all the different stories. It was really easy to kind of link some of the park stories to existing magazine articles. So along with Andrea's help, I think this is going to be a really great resource. People are always asking what's happening in the parks. Sometimes we have activities that come up and the magazine already went out and we need to push it. One thing that I'm also going to be adding moving forward is I reached out to all the athletic associations. I'm going to assign a month to each association to do a sport spotlight where they can provide me with kind of what story they want. So next month will be football and cheerleading, and I already got some really cute pictures from cheerleading about one of the articles going to be about chocolate and flower exchange they do between football players and cheerleaders. So I got some pictures and a little story, and we're going to just highlight like youth sports. Everyone talks about high school sports, but we're going to really highlight like the youth sports. So something really excited that we launched and seems to be received real well. So any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Oh, new event coming up October 29th is our Haunted Harvest down at the Farmers Market. It's going to be,
Haunted Harvest.
Yep, there'll be a little trunk or treat, Halloween activities for kids. It's free. We are doing like time tickets though, just to control crowds and know how many kids to plan for candy. So if you're free, come on out.
I had 2 quick ones from reading the report in advance. There was a comment in there around laser grading at Morgan.
Yes.
So I have an idea in my head of what that is, but can you maybe just elaborate on what it is, why it's necessary, and what it costs?
Sure. Yep. We had it done about 5 years ago, and it's something you probably should do about every 5 years. So what it does is it levels out the infields. So through the years and different coaches and everything, when they drag the field, kind of pulls the infield mix out to the edge, causes lips where the water sits. So they come in, they do laser, and they kind of bring extra fill in and make it level.
So it's a safety issue.
Yeah. And just for drainage and things like that. So we did, like I said, we did it, I think about 5 years ago. So we'll be coming back in, kind of doing those.
We used to play on rocks, remember?
We used to throw rocks, not baseballs.
Yeah.
And then on page 17, you had 2 new programs, I guess, that are targeting seniors. I was
Yes.
curious to see what kind of response you've had for those.
Yes, we the fitness program started last week. We had 5 people attend. And I've kind of sent this information out to a couple other HOAs to hopefully for them to push it out. But the people who attended enjoy it. And then what's the other program?
Driving.
Oh, we've had that one before. It's very popular. When seniors attend it, they can reduce their insurance cost.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so they get a certificate at the end, turn it into the insurance company, and they're.
I'm gonna go to that next year.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to do that next. I've seen you drive.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Oh, I had a question on the splash pad.
Sure.
Because I've been here a couple months. So we had talked about maybe doing like a fence down the road on that, on the splash pad, and possibly charging for non-residents. Any thoughts on that, or?
Yeah, so last month I presented to the board that the Parks and Rec Board Commission recommended a way to bring in some revenue is to go about how you do rentals at the pavilion a little bit differently. So we have all our other pavilions, we've only done one rental a day because we don't really have the staff to go in afterwards to do the flip. At the splash pad, we do have the staff. So through the summers, on weekends, we're going to allow up to 3 rentals a day, so a morning, afternoon, and evening. And then with a little bit of buffer time between that, then the park attendant can go in, make sure everything's cleaned up for the next rental. So that could be kind of our avenue to bring in some more revenue. As for fencing, I kind of want to see how things flow with the ball fields kind of before we make any major decisions on that.
I was
to
just
see
curious
kind of
on
how the setting of everything around there.
Paul, the other
works.
part of the rentals is the discounted resident rates.
Correct. And it's always, all our pavilions are discounted. Residents get a cheaper rate than non-residents.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Thank you,
Thank
Paul.
you.
Thank you.
Chief?
It's becoming more and more difficult to follow Paula.
Yeah.
I don't have as much as that, needless to say. A few statistics from September. We answered 469 calls for service, which takes us about 500 calls more this year than we did last year at this time at the end of September. We had 127 traffic stops, and then one personnel issue is our officer replacement candidate has passed all of his requirements as far as psych, polygraph, drug, and physical. And I'm just waiting for your blessing and approval to move forward. And if we do, I'm looking at a start date for our replacement for Officer Hubbard, December 1st. Okay. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thanks, Chief.
For me? Thank you. Public Works. Bring us home here, Danny.
We'll start with the Parks Department. We have our few guys have been busy in the parks. The grass started growing again.
Yeah.
Got rain,
Started
darn
raining.
it. Yeah.
But we've been fertilizing and taking care of the fields. Our one-call guy's been busy with signs and whatnot. Our mechanics have they're always busy. You can see the report, what they do. Yeah. We had to replace the door at the Rotary Pavilion because somebody broke into it. So Mark and Jason, they replaced that door with a metal frame, which.
Yeah, it happened a while ago, right? I mean, that was a while ago.
Yeah, we just got the door.
Yeah, I got you.
And we just put it in, so it's.
Just making sure it didn't happen again.
That's,
No.
yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Not again.
Okay.
There's no cameras over there, right? We don't make cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you caught him. All right, never mind.
Our police department got them.
Yeah.
Nice. Are they paying for it? You can make them pay for it?
I would have to get the cost from them to have restitution paid as far as, what, I'm sorry? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
The kids.
We did some concrete work around a splash pad for Paula, around the mechanics room and around the pavilion itself. We also installed electric service at the boys' home for power, obviously, and we're waiting on West Penn to hook us up.
Okay.
So, we did some pretty good patch repair on Longview Drive this year. We milled them out and paved them. On the right picture, we did this is on Hickory Grade Road up by the Rolling Hills Ranch. And you can see we did the one call, and we actually started digging it out today. So hopefully we can get paved tomorrow.
Is it closed, Dan? What's the nature of that road now? I saw the horses up there today.
That's Hickory Grade.
Yeah, is the road open or closed?
It's open for emergency vehicles only.
Okay,
If we get a fire truck or ambulance or a police down there, they can go.
okay.
We should have it open by tomorrow afternoon, so. What's next? We did, the one on the left is McVeigh Street. We did that stormwater pipe catch basin, last month. That was the inlet from the hillside coming down from behind the house. It was totally clogged, so we opened it up and opened the ditch up. The one on the right is on Magnolia Street. It's another big pipe, deep pipe. We had to put an inlet it there and fix it back up again, so. That's all I have. Any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
You want to hit any highlights on request tracker? I don't think we have to dig into that too
Yeah,
much.
there's not too much.
No, mostly garbage at the bottom.
Right.
Literally.
Literally.
Solicitor's report?
I have nothing further at this time unless anyone has any questions.
Okay. We will now open up this meeting for public comment. The board will hear comments from residents and/or taxpayers. The time limit of comments will not exceed 3 minutes. The board will not respond to questions during this session, but will only hear public comment. Anyone? Please approach the podium and state your name and address, please.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners, and other officials. My name is Soundar Srinivasan. I am a resident of South Fayette. I live in 3048 Willowbrook Drive in Bridgeville. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. And this is in reference to our request, ongoing request for additional tennis courts in Fairview Park. So we have been working with you, and we have presented in the past several meetings the need for additional because of the increasing demand. And we have estimated that at least we need 2 additional courts in our township due to the increased demand, which is unmet by our existing facility of just 2 courts, whereas our surrounding townships, they have at least a minimum of 4, and some of them have even bubbles in addition to the open courts. And now currently our students and that are representing our school district in various competitions, and also the other residents, they are forced to go to other township for practice and other facilities. So and they are not able to practice as often as possible because of the proximity and other considerations. So I am requesting that, we have been requesting in the past that existing space next to the current 2 courts that are in the Fairview Park, that is mostly unused, so that can be repurposed with a minimum or additional cost. And the USDA has also come back and saying that they will be able to provide a grant early next year, up to $35,000 per court. So with that being, there is a demand for additional courts, and our students are forced to go to, including my daughter, who is representing the school in a junior varsity. So I have to, as a parent, I have to take her around. Sometimes I have to go even 10 miles, in the winding road in the rain. So this will be a closest within our community, and it will not only serve our students and also the other residents who can take it as what you call exercise or other things. And also it can be, this facility can also be used as for competitions and the bubbles. So it is a win-win for both the township as well as the residents. And the residents do not have to be forced to go to other facilities in the neighboring township. And sometimes you have to pay money to use their facility, so which can be very well utilized within our township. So that is our request. So so our request is, and we also did some digging in based on our working with other areas, other townships. So the estimated time frame is 3 to 4 months for repurposing, the existing, or even building a new one. Once we have the design in place. So our sincere request, this, to consider this, submission to enable us to have additional court. So which will serve more than one, you can use it as a bubble for conducting competitions, other things. So finally, our request is, what would you need from us as residents or the students to move forward with this? So this is our humble request on behalf of residents and students to your commissioners.
You're asking me the question.
Yeah, I am just asking that is there anything that we need to provide to support our submission?
We outlined the process last month when
Yeah.
you guys came in. You're a little bit over time. We'll just go ahead and address that. But
Yeah.
The 5 commissioners do not arbitrarily make decisions of what gets put where and kind of who's making that money or who is paying for that. This would need to be budgeted. We would need, and I think Jason went through it last week or last month with, this isn't like our private land. We can just drop a sport court. So if you'd be so kind to go back through some of the permitting process after it even gets through the process of, a need. So what are some of those things with the DEP? You're working with government here. It's a little bit different than
Sure.
popping one in.
And we have been working with township staff to look at some areas within the township where we could put a new tennis court facility. As we outlined, there would be some permitting involved as far as erosion and sediment control, stormwater management. We'd obviously have to meet our own ordinances with a lot of these items. We'd have to have additional parking. We'd also look at perhaps lighting if that was one of the desires for it. So there would be a development process for wherever we put this. And we will look at repurposing certain areas if that's what the township wants to do. But again, we are looking at some things, preparing budget numbers for 2026 budget for considerations. But beyond that, it is a several-month process to go through this.
Just the permitting process.
Correct.
Not including the construction. So I just want to set expectations, and I thank you for coming, and I appreciate you guys coming to, every meeting. But even if we had the ability to say, go ahead, pop them up, right? It's going to be a minimum of a year for this to get done. Yes, ma'am. Well, for the record, though, could you please state your name and number just so we can keep order? Thank you.
My name is Komal Shah, and I'm a resident of
I remember you
Sray.
from last month.
Yes. So just with regards to whatever we've been talking about, the question I had was, I know you said it's not a decision that can be made.
I think last time you guys asked us to vote on it, right? So
the question we're trying to understand is that, is this something that is even being considered? And what does it take to be like one of those, the voting that happens saying where everybody is yay or nay or, those kind of things. So that's what we're trying to understand. Being on the other side, we don't have that knowledge. We don't know.
Oh, understood.
So that's.
So from the very first step, it probably starts with Parks and Recreation, right? And so Paulo's our Parks and Recreation. They're the ones that kind of set the vision for the parks and rec, for anything from trails to, you hear us talking about splash pads, the multi-turf, facilities. So they do have a comprehensive parks plan that, they're trying to knock some things off of that. I would say that's probably the first step is to get onto that particular plan, right?
Would it be something that we
Well,
can kind of talk to parks and?
Well, I'll let Paula address that.
Yeah, sure. So I think the first thing that would be to budget for planning dollars, because there is cost that goes into planning, engineering, permitting, even concepts. And then the second thing I would say is, we keep referencing Fairview Park. My request would be to do a feasibility if that facility could fit in that park. We already have we have other plans in the work for Fairview Park, kind of in that area. So, if Fairview Park is because it's building the additional courts and then the parking that comes along with it. So I want to see if Fairview Park is the feasible option. If not, then it goes to, where else is there an option? So that would be, directing engineering to
Look at Trevescan
look
Park.
at the other options.
Or look at Morgan Park,
Just put it in perspective, these ball fields that are working on, the process started in 2021 with the preliminary plans and then the grants, and then finally getting the grants, then getting the permitting. So that's the process, is figuring out where it makes most feasible sense, and then making plans beyond that. Hopefully that answered your question.
And I do understand what you're alluding to. The only reason why we did propose Fairview was because we already had two
of them
courts in there. And then there is enough, there is space around it, which is not really used. I'm at the courts almost every day with my kids, and I never see anybody. So that was one of the reasons why we just proposed that, since that would be the minimal number of courts, additional courts to be put in, so minimum extra cost to the township.
I appreciate that.
So, yeah. So, I mean, sorry to go back to that, but just trying to understand. So the next step, I do understand what Paula mentioned. So how do we know that this is even being considered? What would be the next step? Is there anything required from us?
I mean, I would say the first step, all right, and I appreciate you guys coming to meetings. You're welcome to come to any meeting you want to come to. You see how exciting they are, right? But I think the first step is it all starts with parks, right? Mm-hmm. And getting that on their agenda and on their plan, right? And then we see where it goes. Now, I do understand from, I think it was either the first time or the second time you were here, that the school is in the process of potentially building courts as well, right?
We have spoken to Dr. Miller, and those the plans are also being published, and they're public knowledge. The school is in the process. It is going to take a while. It's going to be like a 3-4 years project. And according to Mrs. Miller, when we had spoken to her, the courts necessarily will not take that long to build, but because it is a part of an extended construction project, they cannot open up the courts to the community or even the students. So as it stands right now, our students don't have a place to play.
Yeah.
We're literally, pardon me for my language, we were begging other school districts to give us courts for our kids, and these kids can speak to it. Every day when they go out for practice, the girls' season was on right now, they were told to come back at 6 p.m. They were told to come back like the next day. So it's not a...
I understand.
So that is the reason why we're asking the community to kind of help us.
My kids played lacrosse and practiced in Cannonsburg at 10 o'clock at night. So, I mean, I've been there, right?
Yeah.
But, we didn't have a bubble in South Fayette for them to do it as well. So, I mean, I understand what you're coming with, and I appreciate you,
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have the land and we have the community growing here that has a major interest in this tennis, sport. So, yeah.
Only thing is, just to sorry, we took longer than we thought we were going to take. So it can be a shared facility as well. If there is any consideration that it can want to use it for some other sport, it can be a shared. In some cases I have seen. Like a pickleball and tennis, they can probably share the court. I mean, just a thought process here. I'm not trying to solution here. So we can work with Paula and and see how we can move forward. So that is our humble request. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Hopefully, we'll have a way forward.
Okay. No, thank you.
We appreciate Thanks for your passion.
We appreciate it.
Is there any other public comment?
Just note one comment on that. So on tonight's agenda, when you approved the primary school, there are 6 tennis courts that were approved with that site plan in there. And there will be obviously some time before that installation. And I believe the consultant has told us in the 2 to 3 year window for completion of that. But those are coming as well.
Yep. Thank you.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue Cagney, Oak Ridge Road. I'd like to ask you a question, Jason. When you said that there was 2...
So I'm sorry, can you just speak?
Sure, I can.
I mean, it's recorded, and they would probably need to have your, I mean, we know who you are, but can you just give your, we just give your name and address for the record.
Sue Cagney, Oak Ridge Road.
Thank you.
You said that 2 of those buildings are going to be up for rental pretty soon?
The first 2 sections are up for rental currently, yes. They're accepting deposits on those, and they are seeking occupancy in the coming few weeks.
So are the 2 buildings these 2?
The 2 closest to Hickory Grade.
S1 and S2. Yes.
Oak Ridge.
If
Oh,
you
I'm
count
sorry.
those
To
two
Oak Ridge,
buildings,
my
there's
bad.
actually 9 buildings there, and there's only 4 on this paper.
It's the first two sections, S1 and S2.
There's
And
14.
they are the ones closest to the road, yes. And they have demonstrated that they have appropriate parking to accommodate those. And the additional parking for the rest of the buildings will be done by the end of October is what they're telling us.
Are
So
they going to be on the other side of the road?
They won't have any required parking at this point for what they're seeking occupancy for.
So-
So all the parking will be on the same side as the apartment buildings.
So my question really is, why is there only 4 buildings here when they have 9 of them?
They have 4.
No, the approved plans meet what's being built out there.
It's for 4.
Yes.
Where's 9? I'm not sure where 9 comes from.
Go down and count them. I mean, they just, after,
They're probably connected.
They are all- you can
facade
actually-
may look like
You
9
can walk
buildings.
from one end to the other through the building, yes.
Yeah.
But they do have different angles to them and to make them appear different than.
So it is
they are.
confusing. I was actually in the building last week. It is confusing, but there is 4 buildings. It looks like it's more than that, but it's.
this would be like one building because it's all connected.
They have fire separations that
Correct.
make them separate buildings.
And then they have steps going down to Oak Ridge Road. Who's gonna go down there on Oak Ridge Road?
I don't know. Maybe go shopping at BJ's, who knows?
By car?
You could get hit by a car. Hopefully not, or we don't want that to happen.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Actually, I have a question though on that. Not just the buildings, but, sorry, it just kind of jogged my memory. Knowing that that's coming in, and I think another resident had come in previously about just a lighter stop sign or something there.
As part of the approval process for that, once a substantial amount of occupancy is in place for Apex, we are going to revisit with the traffic study of that area to ensure that there isn't any additional elements that need to be taken up, whether it be signalized or anything along those lines.
All right. Anyone else? Board discussion? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming.